divorced and they find out later that their husbands are gay. We've heard those stories. And that's exactly what happened to Fran Drescher. But instead of going into rehab or therapy, she made a sitcom about it. Please welcome back Fran Drescher. What a nice warm welcome.
Yeah.
You know, it was a sitcom. Your life was a sitcom waiting to happen.
I know. Well, you know, we always write about what we know anyway.
Yes, that's right.
And this seemed like a very fresh idea.
It
hasn't been done before.
Let's do this, because it was how many years, and then when did you first start? Retrospectively, when did you say, you know what, now that I know, that really was a sign that...
Well, you know, in the show, my character is always saying, how did I not know? How did I not know?
Right.
Because hindsight's always 20/20. But, you know, at the time that we were married, the metrosexual was very in vogue.
Right.
So it kind of felt like that's what it was. But in, you know, in hindsight, I mean, he was very hands-on with how I looked, my makeup, what kind of shoes I wore.
What were you thinking?
He's also very Svengali-ish. I mean, he's got like control issues, and so I was like his project, and he was the executive producer of The Nanny. So it all kind of blurred for me, and I actually left the marriage because I had a very garden variety midlife crisis, not knowing who I was. I left my home from my parents in Queens, moved in with him. We met when we were 15, and by the time I was in my late 30s, I was famous, and I was, you know, on The Nanny. I had reached everything that I was striving for, but I wasn't happy, and I knew that I had to really look within myself, and I couldn't do it within the marriage because he was too on me, like white on rice. So
I have to ask you the question to follow up. What about at night?
We had a great sex life. He begged me not to leave him. He cried. It was the hardest thing that ever happened. It was, for me, it was like walking through fire because I never had made it about me. I always make it about other people. I always do what's best for everyone else. And, you know, I knew I needed to grow. It was very, very hard for me. And he was very angry at me for leaving him. And when The Nanny ended, that's when we actually divorced. And a year later, I was diagnosed with cancer, and our manager, we have the same manager, called him. He moved to New York. He couldn't get far enough away from me, and she said, Fran has cancer, and in that moment, you know, he burst into tears, and all of the anger melted away, and all that was left was the love.
He loved you.
Yes, and he still loves me.
And now,
he hasn't, you know, really, I mean...
Your relationship now, is there friendship there? Are you working together still?
You know, we're soulmates, we're best friends, we talk every day, we work together. I mean, now we have the best relationship we've ever had because we both went into psychotherapy when we split up, and over the course of time, we grew into our adult selves. We stopped being reactive from archaic issues, and, you know, we're able to talk to each other, see each other, and
producing this new show.
Yes, when I saw this idea, because TV Land came to me and said, would you pitch us some ideas to write and produce a show? Not for me to star in. And the first thing they said, of course, was, what would be an idea that you would want to play in? And I said, oh, well, that's easy. That's got to be the relationship between myself, my gay ex-husband, and the advice he gives me on my current boyfriend. And I said, so now do you want to hear what the shows that I brought in? And they said, why? I just bought that one.
That is, you know, well, it's a very, it's a fresh idea.
It's and I called Peter and I said, because we had been writing a screenplay called Happily Divorced, and I said, I just sold this idea inspired by our story. I want you to be my partner, and let's use the title for the movie. So, you know,
so we have a clip of the premiere episode where he has just revealed to you that he's gay, and you're now dealing with the aftermath of it. Let's take a look.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to tell other people. My parents, my mother is gonna be devastated. We always thought he was gay.
He had beautiful cuticles.
You knew he was gay and you never bothered to mention it to me?
We thought you knew.
Why would I marry a gay man? I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.
All right, here's what you do. You go to a lingerie store, you buy something very sexy that'll turn him on.
Like what? A jockstrap?
I'm sorry. Do you find it cathartic to turn what happened to you, going through this kind of journey into something funny?
Always, always. You know, we turn lemons into lemonade and pain into purpose. And we always turn. I wrote the Cancer Schmancer book as funny.
Yes.
You know, that took me 4 drafts, admittedly. But this is a decade after the fact. Even when he finally came out and told me, it was after my cancer. You know, it was like I was already in love with somebody else. And so when he told me, it was like, okay, more power to you. So in the show, it's a little more spontaneous, and that helps for creating conflict and hopefully a long series.
The jokes write themselves.
We have to end up living together in the show because we can't sell the house due to the economy, and we can't afford to live separately until we do sell the house. So hopefully we won't sell the house for 7 years.
That's right.
We have to live as roommates, and he tries to integrate into the gay community. I try and integrate into being a single woman, but really what we both know how to do best is be married.
Yes.
And we're still living
It's
together.
charming, really.
Yeah,
we
it's so
cannot wait
charming.
to watch it.
Oh,
Thank you so much,
thank you.
Fran Drescher.